Making a change is hard. And just really quick, something that has come to my mind a lot lately too is so many times we have all these really pretty scriptures in our heads, like I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, woohoo! God has all these beautiful plans to prosper me, not to harm me, ooh yeah, and the Ephesians 3:20 is what we're going through at church right now, where God, says that He can do anything we can ask or imagine, even more, like immeasurably more. But we always forget the parts after those verses, where we actually have to walk those things out, and we have to put feet on those verses, where it says that God He doesn't have plans to harm us but to prosper us. It also talks about seeking Him with our whole heart, asking Him for things that He's going to bless us with. Talks about we do it whether we feel like it or not. We ask and we believe for those things no matter what we feel. There's action on our part. So it's wonderful to have those verses in your head. I hope that you do. But they're just kind of pretty words until you really put those into action, okay? I mean, Satan knows the word. So he can spit the word back at you all day long. What he doesn't do is walk it out, and that's what we need to do. So the breaking of chains is letting God show you those dark places that you don't want anybody to know about, and they don't have to know about it. Everything that you're doing this week will be between you and God. Mr. Peters will explain this a little bit better, but anything that goes in here, that's between you and God. Not one person will be going through this. That's you and God. So breaking of chains is throwing something in here, but then walking out in that freedom that God has freely given us. Okay, so just really quick, might seem a little childish, but everybody likes candy, I'm assuming, right? So what I've told the elementary classes are when we do things that I throw stuff out at them, that they have to have concrete feet, which I know, again, childish, but it means you can't tackle the person next to you or 6 rows behind you to get whatever I'm throwing at you. So before we start this video, if you guys want to stand up and try to get some candy, I have 3 boxes right now that I'm going to throw out. Actually, I have a bag of 3 boxes, so I have some Sour Patch Kids, watermelon, and then a couple others. So I don't care if you sit or stand, but you have to have concrete feet. You cannot tackle somebody to get it.
So much for concrete.
All right, I got more, but a little bit later. You guys want to sit down? Sit down and turn your attention to a very beautiful video. Today, if you haven't noticed, we're talking about forgiveness. This is a video that was played at Mr. Peters' church and many of your church, Open Bible. It's a beautiful, beautiful story. So if you guys could turn all of your attention to this video, please.
Well, Carlos came to RTO a month after we got out of prison.
That wasn't made up. The next individual that we're going to have come up here and just share is one of your very own classmates and students who I have not really spent a lot of time with, But when I have heard her share in Bible, I sit in their Bible class because they take my room, they're using my room. There are some things that she has said that have reached me here, and I've said, only God could have shown her that. And anyway, her name is Ashley, so Ashley, come on up here, and she has something to share with you.
Okay, I just want to start off with prayer. Lord, I thank you so much for this opportunity that I get to share a part of my life that I really struggled with. And I pray that anybody in this room that needs to hear this, that they will listen and accept what you have for them. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, for those of you who don't know, I'm Ashley. I'm a junior here at KTA, and I am one of 5 children. My sister is Veronica, she's in 7th grade, and my younger brother is Jonathan, he's in 5th grade. My 2 older siblings are in college. I was raised in a Christian home my entire life by 2 loving and supporting parents. My family, we were truly blessed. I never was hungry. We had more than we needed. We had money, success, love, there was nothing that was missing. My life as I knew it changed when I was 11 years old. My parents and their friends went on a motorcycle trip to Indiana on July 5th. We received a phone call that day that my parents had gotten into an accident and that my parents were in critical condition and we needed to come right away. At this time, my brother was about 18, so all 5 kids, we decided we were gonna go and head to the hospital. It was 4 hours away, and it was the longest 4 hours of my life. And I want to stand up here and tell you that I trusted God the whole time and that I knew He had a plan and everything, but that's not the truth. I was scared. I was scared and broken because my life was turning upside down as I knew it. When we finally arrived at the hospital, my dad was finally stable and they let us see him. And about an hour later, we were asking, can we see our mom? Where is she at? How is she doing? And that's when, when you have a situation in your life where you won't ever forget. This was mine. When my dad told us that my mom hadn't survived the accident. And they had done everything they could have done. And I just remember my dad signing my mom's death certificate thinking the God that loves me and that I hear about and that died for me and wants the best for me, He's allowing this to happen in my life. He's allowing this. And I was just so angry. How can you say that you love me when you're doing this to me? Instead of saying, God, please use this situation, I just constantly found myself asking, why? Why are you letting this happen to me? And anytime you go through something, I just want to encourage you to change your perspective just a little bit. Just think how are you going to use this? Because God tells us all over in the Bible how He does everything for our good. My dad was released from the hospital a few days later, and we had tons of people at our house waiting for us to pray with us and to just be there for us. And I knew that they loved us, and I've never felt so empty and alone in a situation in my life. I knew that they were going to be there for me and they were going to be my rock, but I didn't trust God at all. So these people that loved me, I didn't care. It didn't matter to me. Not only did I lose my mom, I started to lose my identity. And people started naming me that girl whose mom died, that's her. People didn't even know my name at the time, they just knew that about me. I just felt so unloved and empty in this situation. My friends didn't point me to God, they just pointed me away you're right, God let that happen and that's horrible and that's why you shouldn't lean on God because look where it left you. Instead of turning to Christ, I turned to sports, which looking back, I'm thankful because I know a lot of people now, we turn to sex, drugs, alcohol, whatever. And for me, it was sports, which is just as bad. just constantly worrying about myself and what it looked like, how I felt. I didn't care what God had for me. After about a year of being completely broken and alone, sad, my dad sat me down and told me that we were considering going to Trinity. And for those of you who don't know, I attended Grace my entire life, up until 8th grade year. And he said, you know, we're gonna go tour Trinity. I talked to Pastor Brad and we're gonna go check things out. And I gave my dad the dirtiest look I think ever. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I'm not going to that school. And we toured and I hated it. I hated everything about it, not the people, just the fact that I was gonna change. And no one likes change at all. It's horrible and it sucks, but. So we made the switch and everybody that claimed to love me and care about me stopped talking to me. They wanted nothing to do with me. And that was really hard for me because people I've known my whole life who knew my mom, who loved my mom, who were friends with my mom, they stopped talking to me only for the reason that I came here to this school. And through that school year, I had teachers from here who mentored me and helped me grow through Christ. And some of them are in here and they don't even realize what that meant to me. I started reading my Bible again. And through that time, it was hard for me because I felt like I'd been through a whole year of not even caring about God, and I felt that I was too deep in my sin and too lost that He couldn't bring me out. And I just want to encourage you, if any of you are in that situation, that is the wrong mentality to have. Like the God that created everything and died for you and rose again, He's the God that you're saying can't fix you and save you from that. And that's crazy to think. Through His word and understanding who God was and understanding that the situation that I was like, why did you allow that? Everything started to change. And slowly but surely I allowed God to start working through my heart. And I saw huge changes. I stopped caring that those people stopped talking to me. I stopped caring that, you know, I couldn't control my life. And I started to allow God to control everything in my life. You know, Mrs. Graham was talking about how we have these things that we like to hold on to. I had so many of those things that it consumed my life. Your relationship with God is the most important thing in life. And if you don't have one, like, that is the most important thing. My family, we had money, we had material things, we had everything, and that was the most important to me. The fact that I could go in my backyard and swim in my huge swimming pool was like the coolest thing, and I loved it. And I didn't, like, it always left me unfilled and empty. Like, nothing that this world has to offer is ever gonna fill you like Jesus can. And I'm telling you from experience, it won't. At my mom's funeral, I was shown how important it is to pour into people, whether or not they're saved, and just how much your life impacts other people. My mom's wake was 6 hours long because there were so many people standing in line. It took them an hour to get up to my family to pay their respects. They stood in line for an hour for that. Impacting lives and pouring into people is important. And it's our job as Christians to bring glory to God and set an example for other believers who are lost and broken. And I wish I would have had more people early on to do that. If you haven't already, you will face hardship in your life. I'm here to tell you, you will. You are gonna experience death of a loved one, and it's gonna be a really hard time. Even now, 5 years later, I still miss my mom. I still have hard times. For me, the biggest thing when I was little was planning my wedding. That was like so cool, you know, I'm gonna marry Prince Charming and everything else. And that's the hardest thing for me is my mom isn't gonna be at my wedding. My mom's not here for those things. And I just think my hardest day was her best day. Going to Jesus' feet is the best thing ever. And that's like the most important day for everybody. God is gonna get you through whatever you go through. Whether or not you're gonna turn to Him or not, He's there. He's never gonna just leave you. He will place the right people in your life when you need them most, and He's gonna bless you and be there for you no matter what. You're never alone, even if you feel like it, you're not. And when we have speakers come up here, and I even do this a lot, I just think like, oh yeah, our teachers love us. No, they love us. they love us, and I've experienced their love in my life. They love us. And you're not gonna find that everywhere you go. And I even think to myself, like, oh yeah, it's Trinity, you know, whatever, and I go through the motions. And then when you think about it, we are so blessed at this school to have people who love us. Sorry. When you are going through hard times, you want people who are going to point you to Christ, not away from Him. You don't want friends that are going to say, just go and go get drunk. It's going to make stuff better. Just go and do this. Those aren't the people you want in your life. And when you get into hard times, your friends are the people that are either going to leave you or help you and say, come on, like, let's go. You need to go to Christ. Let me pray for you. If you don't have people like that in your life, maybe you need to make a change in who you hang around. Maybe you need to go to a teacher and say, will you please pray for me? I find myself in this situation, or wherever you're at. And I want to encourage you guys to not wait. Because with my experience, that morning when I said goodbye to my mom and my dad, I didn't know that my mom wasn't going to come back home. And I didn't know. I don't ever think about that. I was 11 years old. And everybody in here would just expect, like, this is gonna sound really harsh, but we don't know when our last day is. Anybody in here can get in a car accident on their way home from school today. And if you have a relationship you need to mend that's broken, or you need to apologize for something, or you need to say, you know what, I love you, maybe that's what you need to do today. Don't wait any longer. The 4 things that I want everybody to just take away from this is, 1, you will face trial. You will go through hard things. But through that, God has a plan for you, and He does love you. And you never know when your last day will be. So don't wait to commit your life to Christ. Don't wait, because I did. I was like, you know what, I have time. I'm like, even now, I'm 16. Like, I have my whole life ahead of me to commit to Christ. I don't need to do it now. No, you need to do it now. You don't have time. Thank you.